How are you guys? Hi. I couldn't put makeup on today, so I put my... Do you like my filter, Leann?
Hi. How are
Hi.
you?
Hold on, wait. Let me put the thing up. Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. Good to see
You look
you. You
so
look so
pretty.
glowy today.
What? It's the
You're like
filter.
glowing.
Look, put lashes on.
You're glowing. You look
Oh, you know what?
gorgeous.
I've been using these new products. I've been testing some new stuff. My next project
Ooh.
hopefully will be the skincare line.
Wow.
I did skincare for so many years, Leann, that I love skincare. So I'm glad. I think the blushing is
That's amazing.
but the blushing is the filter. That's nothing to do with anything, but also.
Well, I'm going to need some details on that skincare line when it launches.
Yeah, of course, of course. Well, I'm super excited to have you. You're an amazing artist, entrepreneur that I would put my head and salute you, my friend.
Aw, you're so
So
sweet.
I want to hear a little bit about yourself for our friends who are watching and who maybe don't know who you are. So tell us, what do you do? Who are you?
Well, thank you so much, Claire, for having me. I'm super excited to be here. We've got like a good amount of people joining us, so very cool. Shout out to all of you who are watching. If some of you probably have not heard of me, my name is Leann Law. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Fusion Artistry. We're located in Huntington Beach, California. And I've been doing permanent makeup for about, oh my gosh, like 12 years now, I think. Yeah, it's been over a decade.
She was 10 years old when she started.
I wish, Claire. It's funny because I feel old, but people are always like, oh, you look so young. Like, no, I'm definitely not young. So yeah, I've been in the industry for about 12
years. You look like a baby.
Thank you so much. And I mean, this industry has definitely changed my life. It has been such an amazing journey, and I love it. I love what I do every single day. I'm excited to do what I do. I love being able to help, clients as well as my students make a difference in the world. And,
So how did you start?
Super excited.
Why did you start this, or how did you start? Like, how did it all happen? Tell us.
Okay, well, I'll go as far back as what I did right before permanent makeup. I was in the corporate world for about 15 years prior to getting into the beauty industry.
Oh, you are old. Yeah, that's old.
So I was like super like corporate girl. And I just got sick and tired of sitting behind a cubicle 12 hours a day, working for somebody else. And I wanted to do something that was going to be fun and exciting. And I didn't want to hit the snooze button anymore when every morning. So that's when I decided, I'm going to start the beauty industry because I had two sisters.
How long ago?
So this was in like 2007, 2008 was when I decided to leave corporate. So my two sisters, they were in the beauty makeup artists. And I started a spa with my sister. It was a small little space, about 1,200 square feet. And we, furnished it ourselves. We built it ourselves. I knew nothing about entrepreneurship. I didn't come from a family of entrepreneurs. I went and got a book at Barnes and Nobles, and it was How to Start Your Own Business for Dummies or something like that.
Yeah,
and I seriously just read the book, and it taught you like, okay, you got to get your business license and this and that. And that's how it all started. We did have a partner as well. And I'm sure we'll get into that a little bit later, but that relationship didn't last for long. But yeah, that's when I started doing makeup and skincare, and then started learning permanent makeup because I felt like, when you're in the skincare industry, you are doing a lot of facials, right? So whenever you're taking your client's makeup off,
Yes.
one of the biggest issues was people had brow issues,
Yes.
whether it be
We're
like
browless.
sparse brows, no brows, funky colored brows. And that's really what inspired me to get into permanent makeup, is because I really wanted to figure out a way to help my clients.
Oh, so I didn't know that. I did not
Yeah.
know that you did skincare. I had no
Yep.
idea. I did
Yep.
skincare, Leann, since I was 15 years old. I
Wow.
had horrible acne, you know,
So
and that's
did
why I had
I.
scars. But, you know, I just wanted to help. Seriously,
Yeah.
that's how I started. I wanted to help people who had very bad skin, and that's how I started. And you know, I did skincare for so many years. I mean, it's crazy. That's why I'm like, it's my passion. You know, I wanted to create this line, this, you know, I'll tell you all about it another time, but here we are.
I feel
now
like that's how
about
it happens.
What?
I feel like that's how it happens. It's like you're passionate about something, and then you end up turning it into a business. I feel like that's the best way to do it.
True, because then you love what you do.
Absolutely.
I feel like if you love what you do, you will be successful. There's no way around it. Like,
100%.
because you will put your heart into it, and then you will be successful. That's how I feel. You know, that's why I think when I see people that hate their job, I'm like, oh my God, like, I wouldn't want to live. I swear. Like, oh no, this is horrible. I feel sorry for people.
That was me in the corporate world. I did not like it.
But you changed it. Do something about it.
Yes.
You changed it.
Absolutely.
So tell me, like, what is your biggest accomplishment? It doesn't have to be in the permanent makeup or anything like that. In general.
I would say my biggest accomplishment happened this year in 2020.
Really?
I pretty much retired my parents this year.
Oh my God, amazing.
That was like the one biggest goal, one of my biggest whys since I can remember. I mean, since I started working, you know.
You're definitely going to heaven.
You're so sweet.
No,
I don't know if you know my story, but my family immigrated here in 1984. I was born in Vietnam. My family, my mom, dad, and 5 other siblings. So there's 8 of us total. We came here in 84. My parents came with nothing, absolutely nothing. They didn't speak a word of English. They probably had maybe like $15 in their pockets. It's kind of like the typical immigrant story.
I always talk about my $3,000. I was a millionaire next to that.
Yeah, seriously. Ooh. I mean, they had nothing, and we started from nothing. And, you know, my parents worked so hard to just feed us and give us an opportunity. And I feel like that was one of the things that one of my goals was just to retire them one day. I didn't think I could do it, to be honest. I didn't have gigantic goals. I didn't think I was going to be an entrepreneur growing up. I always thought, oh my gosh, I just want that corporate job. And I never thought that was possible. And I was able to accomplish it this year, or last year, I'm sorry. And honestly, like,
look at that in the coronavirus time. So it was not such a bad year after all. You know, I kept saying to everybody, just think about it positively. You know, was it really so bad? Like, can you find maybe 1 or 2 things that was positive in this year? I mean, in the past year, you know?
Yeah. Sometimes
so I'm glad that you have positive things happen to you in the, you know, in 2020.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm absolutely grateful for that.
Amazing.
Thank you.
You have achieved over 12,000 clients and over 3,000 students, right?
Yes.
So tell our listeners, how did you do that? Like, how did you do it, and how can they get more? Like, how did you do it?
Well, it definitely took a while. I think I'm sure we don't have time for all of it, but I'm going to tell you a few of the things that I feel are really important to build a business where it's going to last like long term. I don't want to be an overnight success. You know, I don't want to just come into the industry, try to make a bunch of money and leave. That's, you know,
Well,
when
there's
I
a
got
lot
into
of
this
that
industry.
around.
Yeah. And when I got into this industry, there weren't a ton of people in it yet. I did it because I wanted to help my clients. That's how I started. And I think that one of the biggest things that has led me to where I am today is just staying focused on how I can help my clients, how I can help my students. I think a lot of times we tend to look too much into like the numbers, like how much can I make? Is this industry going to make me, you know, this much money? I'm not saying that money isn't important, because I feel like money is the vehicle to a lot of things that we're able to do. But at the same time, I believe that it's important to really focus on, you know, what is it that I can do every single day of my life that's going to make me so happy, so that I can do it with 110% of my effort. And, you know, with that mindset, I was able to really focus on one client at a time. And it's crazy because you know, we all started somewhere. We always started with our first client, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
I want to hear that story about your first client.
So 12 years ago, you know, I start with one client. And then from that client, they referred me a few people. And then I did a few more clients. And then I took, you know, those clients' before and after photos, posted it on social media, talked about what I did. So I think it's really important to like really be passionate and excited about what you do, because when you're excited about what you do, everybody around you gets excited, right?
You know, it's just so funny. Oh my God. Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard, but I just launched a permanent makeup subscription box, which was never
Congratulations.
done. Thank you. In the permanent makeup industry. When I told this to my husband, he's like, I said, Scott, you don't understand. You know, there's for makeup, there is for like clothing, there's this, there's that. He goes, okay, you know. Then he sees me talking about it, and he goes, you know what? You'll sell this shit because you are so passionate about it. You're so, you know, it was so funny. I was like, Scott, but I sincerely am. He goes, I know, I could see it. Like, you're so excited about this box and blah, blah. And I'm like, it's amazing. I said, never been done before. So of course,
yeah.
So, but it's funny you say that, because if you're passionate, it shows. And you don't even need to sell it, like, because people gonna buy it, because you know, they saw that you care about them. They saw that you were in love with what you do, and it just kept coming, right?
Yeah. I totally believe in that. Like a lot of my new students, you know, when they're sitting in class and they're like, well, how do I get started? What do I need to do? And one of the keys I tell them is like, if you love what you do and you're passionate about what you do, I know you're new, but document your journey. You know, show people like what you're doing, introduce them to your world. And if you do that, people will be excited. They'll want to be your models. You know, you have to get out there and talk about it. If you're at if you're out with your friends, you talk about what you do, and you you ask questions. I'm not saying like you just want to sit down and be like, okay, this is what I do for a living. You know, you want to.
It's like, honestly, this is the thing. We're in the woman industry. Women love eyebrows. Women love beauty. Women love makeup. So I think that's like easy right there, right? And I feel like, in my opinion, I like to educate my client. So then my client, who I just did her eyebrows, goes to her friend, says, oh my God, she knows her shit. She's good. She told me, you know, she showed me this way that she's measuring, and she told me about this, that color, that the color has this, that, like, I talk about like all these little stupid things, you know. Then they're like, oh my God, she's good. Like, she's good. So you know what I tell my students? I tell them, fake it until you make it, you know, because you are knowledgeable, you are learning, right? You're learning good stuff from good people like yourself. You're very, very knowledgeable teacher. And why not like talk about it? Like I went to a great instructor, you know, look at her. She has made 12,000 clients and I'm her student, right?
Right. And they have to, I always say, like, document your journey, because people want to see what you're doing and they want to be a part of it. If you're excited about it, they want to be a part of it. And I think that's something that is really important. If you're new out there and you're watching, I think that's a huge tip for you to just really be excited about what you do and stop, you know, focusing and comparing yourself to other artists who have had more experience than you. You don't want to do that, because it's just going to get you down and you're just going to be moping like, I don't have any clients. You know, you don't want to cry about it. You got to be excited. You have to be
totally,
you know, just passionate about helping just that one person. Who is your next person that you're going to make a difference for? And if you can just do that one at a time, it'll just... I
don't know if you did this, but I think it's also nice, like if you follow up with your client, like if you text them, how are you doing? I know your eyebrows are probably feeling like a little dark. Don't be scared, you know, because when you're new, you have like plenty of time. Just build a relationship with your client, right? Absolutely. Like, why not? Like, if you just keep in touch with them, they're going to say, oh, she really cares. You know, she texted me a few times to see how I was doing. How many artists do that? I mean, I don't do that, honestly. Not anymore. I'm too busy.
I think that's,
if you're new,
that's really important to do, especially if you're new. And if you want to make sure every client who walks out your door is really happy, because once they're happy, it's okay to ask for the referral, right? It's okay to say,
and review.
You know, I'm so
referral
glad to hear
review.
that. Yeah, it's like, I'm glad to hear that you're so happy with your service. And then ask them, like, if you have any friends or family, I would love, you know, you can even make referral cards and give them a little, maybe $10 towards their next touch up. And I used to do that and it worked so well. There would be clients who would refer me like their entire office, you know? So if you can do that, I think it's a great way to start.
I never did that because I don't know. I feel like when I started, it's different now. I'm not gonna lie. It's just like there was nobody who was really doing it also.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, and I talk about this all the time, when there is not many people who are doing it, not many people asked for it either. Not as many people asked for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, right now, everybody wants eyebrows. Now they know that they could get eyebrows. Like before, they were like, what is that? What is microblading? What do you mean, like permanent makeup? What is permanent? You know what I mean? Like they had no idea.
Makeup had a bad reputation back when.
True. Rightfully. Rightfully. Yeah. When I started permanent makeup, thank God those people retired who taught me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank God.
It's very different. And now people trust the process, which does kind of make it easier. Yes, there's more artists doing it, but people are definitely more open to permanent makeup, old and young.
They see better results.
Right.
I would say, you know what I mean? There's a lot of plenty horrible results too, but you know, then you got to do your homework.
Yeah.
Okay. What is one of the best investments you've ever made? Besides maybe buying Apple stock. No, just kidding.
I missed that one. I missed that one. And now Bitcoin. Oh my gosh. If you have Bitcoin, then you're doing good. I don't know if you're into that stuff, but I just purchased some Bitcoin a couple weeks ago. So.
Oh my God. Bitcoin.
Yeah.
It went crazy. My husband is very into, you know, day trading and stuff like that. But I think Bitcoin went up a lot. I think it's going to keep going up too, but I'm not the one to give you advice on that. I could give you advice on other things, but you don't want advice. I was just...
Hey, Melody, she says she got some Bitcoin.
Oh, really? I know.
Yay, you joined the club, Melody. But back to your question, investment. I mean, gosh, I can tell you some of the great things I invested in and some of the things where it didn't totally help me. You know, one of the things I would say is I invest a lot of money into my personal growth. I feel like
What do you
personal
mean?
growth.
Like coaching and
I actually do books, audio books, podcasts. I've done some coaching. I'm totally into like Jim Rohn, Tony Robbins. I
Robin?
mean,
I knew it. I
I
was
just
gonna say Tony Robin.
I just love personal growth because I feel like you can't get enough of it, you know? You can always grow and be better every single day. And I love being a student always, you know?
Me too.
Yes, I may be an instructor and I teach permanent makeup, but I am a student in life, in business, you know, I'm always a student and I always love to learn. And I think sometimes when we feel like, oh, we're so good because we know this much already and we stop learning, then we just stop here and
You
then
can't
everybody
grow.
else will
You can't
surpass you.
grow. I think you
Yeah.
hit such an amazing point because I tell my students, you know what? You learn from me, go learn from other people.
Yeah.
Okay. And this is why in my academy, like if they take my training, they could go to any of my trainers' trainings for free because I want them to go to different trainers.
Yep.
It doesn't matter how great I am, you are, you're going to learn something different with each trainer. You know, I mean, good trainers, obviously. Don't go to just anyone. But I really love that. And you know what? I tell my students, you know, one day you're going to be so amazing and I'm going to learn something from you. And they're like,
Totally.
no. And you know, it's funny because we have a mutual student, Kim Doe,
Yes.
right?
She's amazing.
You have no idea how much I learned from her.
That's
She's
awesome.
amazing. She is
Yep.
so amazing. I'm so proud of her. And she became an AAM instructor in New Jersey, very like a few days ago or a week ago, whatever. That's why I always say, and it was so funny because she is one of those person. I mean, she's a lot more than me. She been to everybody's class. I mean, it's just so funny. She just loves. And the other day she was asking me, do you mind if I go to such and such? I said, are you kidding me? I would mind. I said, why would I mind? Well, because I'm a beauty angel. I said, Kim, no way. I said, you should go. You know, I went to Christina Melnichenko's class when I was a female trainer. You know, so what? Like, you know, what's the problem? I don't understand. And it was such a pleasure, you know. I think it's a great thing, and I think we need to support each other. I think this industry needs instructors like us who support each other instead of like, you know, like talking negative about each other. It's just,
it's the only way to grow and be better.
Totally, right? And I do that too. Now, I'm actually coaching with Sheila Bella. She's absolutely amazing. And I learned so much from her. And she's so good. Man, she's so good. Unbelievable. Like,
she's amazing.
She's the best. She's so good. So tell me now, one time that you actually failed, and how did you deal with, like, when you failed or when you fail in general, not just one time, how do you deal with that? What do you do? Do you cry?
Well,
no, just kidding.
Sometimes you do.
I know. We all do.
I feel like a lot of us, I mean, for me, I feel like I fail almost every day. I mean, there's always something that I feel I could do better. And I think if you look at failure differently, your mindset, you can shift your mindset to where every failure is more like a learning experience. Like for me, yeah, I feel like every time I struggle with something or I did something where I'm like, oh my gosh, why did I do that? I take a look, I kind of give myself some time to just be like pissed off about it, right? Because let's be honest, we don't
Why
always
did I
just
do
like,
that?
oh, I
That was
failed, it's
stupid.
okay. You
But
get
I'm not
upset
gonna
about
do it
it.
again.
Yeah, you need to just give
Yeah.
yourself a little bit of time and look back at the situation and say, okay, this happened. I can't change it. There's nothing I can do to change it. What can I do to make it better? Or what can I do next time to make sure I don't make the same mistake?
This mistake. Yeah.
And that's all you can do. And I think that if you just really welcome it and accept the fact that you're not perfect and you don't need to strive for perfection. I mean, what's perfect anyways, right? We just go out and do our best every single day.
What is perfect and what is
whatever,
normal, right? That's two things.
exactly.
What is normal? Am I normal? I don't think so. I think, you know, it's
Kind
like
of frozen. Sorry, you
a
kind of
very
froze for a bit. So
loaded question. Yeah, I know. And you froze. I don't know if is it me or is it you? Let them write.
I don't
Can you
know.
go? I look like I have a good reception, but
Yeah, that's so weird because that's how it is on my end, but that's okay. I can still hear you. It just freezes every once in a while.
I know, I know. I'm experiencing the same exact thing. It's mutual. Okay.
That's so weird.
So what how are you able to maintain such a successful permanent makeup business for so long, for such a long time?
Passion in what I do. Like, I absolutely love what I do. I wake up every day excited about what I do, and I'm constantly wanting to improve what I do. I think it's really important for a long-term business to stay successful for a long period of time.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like you really have to love what you do and be really passionate about who you're helping, because then you're just excited to get up in the morning and continue to do what you do, and you want to show up the best way that you know how to for your client and for your students. And I love also learning and being innovative, and also just continuing to really just give back to our community and our industry. And I just keep it exciting.
You're amazing. You're amazing. You really are one of the few ones that does that.
Thank you
that's
so much.
why
I feel the same about you.
Oh, thank you. But I think that's the reason why that growth keeps happening. You know, people see the true people that care about themselves, about them, not like myself or
we know
yourself.
what you mean.
Yeah. It's too late for my English. My brain, that English side of my brain is shutting down.
And I think staying involved in the industry and staying involved with your community is so important too, because you get to make friends. I love having these conversations with you and with other artists in the industry. It just exciting. And I think, you want to be, I love being a part of that. And I think that's what keeps me going as well.
It's so nice. It's so nice and refreshing to have people like you in the industry. So what tips do you have for someone who is starting their own business? Like, they're not going to work for somebody. They want to go and they want to start their own business.
I think if you're going to start your own business, one of the tips I would give you is just making sure that you're looking over like everything. And the reason why I say this is because when I first started out, I wasn't paying attention to the lease the way I should have, like just leasing out the space, things like that. Make sure you're having like lawyers look over certain paperwork. Sometimes, as artists, we we pay attention to like, okay, how big is the space, or
because we are
how am
not,
I gonna decorate
usually
it?
artists are not business people. Artists are not
Right,
business
right.
people.
And it's so important
That's the
to make
problem.
sure when at the beginning to do it right when it comes to setting up your business. I know the AAM has so many great resources for to help new artists do that. So if you're not a part of the AAM, definitely visit the website and take a look at what's available for you. I think it's a great way to, you know, to really get started right. And that it's super important to make sure you have those all lined up, the steps lined up, and making sure that you take a look and pay attention to all those contracts and all those different things, because, you know, running a business is not just like as easy as some people think. There's a
No,
lot.
it's very difficult. And
Yeah.
you know what? It's okay, guys. It's okay if you, I feel like some people think that, oh, I have to open my own business. You don't have to. My husband was a broker, okay, in a firm. And I always told him, Scott, why don't you start your own firm? And he says, are you crazy? I don't want that headache. No, he says, I go in, I make a lot of money. I'm very happy. And whatever money, a little bit more money that I'm going to make or whatever, the headache is not worth it. So I think it's okay to work for a great mentor. Like, I'm sure you have people working for you, or you know, a lot of people are very nice in this industry, and they will treat you very fairly. And I think, you know, I think it's actually pretty easy. You just go, you do your job, you get out, you don't have to worry about it, you get your money, and that's it, you know, and that's fine too. I think one advice that I could give is be very careful now with the new form of payments. A lot of people now are taking Venmo, PayPal, Zelle. You guys should definitely record these, because you could really get in trouble with your taxes. And I'm not saying that you're trying to steal money for anything like that, but like, people may not even think that, oh, somebody sent them, you know, you take money from this part, that, but like before, we used to have one bank account and everything would go in there, right? But now there's so many ways of money coming in. And you know who I learned this from? From Amanda Brewer, because she was an accountant, actually.
Yeah.
And I said to her, oh, you know what? I moved to my new place. And she says, Claire, be very careful. Like, you need to attach this accounts to your business account, so when they put the money in there, it goes to, I'm like, oh my God, like, I had no idea, like, I wasn't thinking. And I said, Amanda, you're a genius, you're smart. She goes, you know what, it's true, because a lot of artists, it's just, we're artist minded, we don't think about those little business details, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy,
so important.
It is so important. Yeah. Okay, so if you could give yourself one advice when you were starting in the permanent makeup business, what would you say? One advice.
If I can give myself one advice, I would say to show up every day. You know, show up every day at your best, really. Show up on social media and talk about what you do. I can't stress that enough, because I think if you consistently show up for your clients, you know, now we're trainers, so we show up for not just clients, but also our students. I think that that's how you're going to build your business. You've got to show up and be there for them. You have to be there for questions. You have to be there to talk about what you do and show how you can help them. And if you do that, I feel like, you know, you'll get your name out there, you'll get your business out there, and that would probably help you grow a lot faster than if you didn't do that.
True, but I tell you something interesting. Not everybody is comfortable with social media. Like, they're scared. And you know who was that person? Me.
You and me? You and
You
me?
were too? Oh my God, this is so funny because
I think we're all scared.
And it's so funny, Leann, I'm still scared. I'm still scared. And people say, I'm a shy person. And when I say this to people, they say, shy? You are shy? I'm like, I swear to God, I'm shy. I don't like open up like this. Like, I don't know. It's like, and then Sheila says to me, Claire, you are a content yourself. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm super like intimidated and this, that, the other thing. So don't feel like that, guys. You know what? If anyone, I swear to God, I guess you too, I understand because I hate it. When I'm going to be doing a live, I get like anxiety. Oh my God, I'm going to go live.
Butterflies?
Oh my God.
Do you get butterflies? I get butterflies.
Yes, I get nervous. I'm like, oh God, you know, like I don't like this. And you know what I decided? I don't even care. Just be yourself, right?
Just be yourself and be authentic.
Like today, Sheila said to me, did you not wash your hair? And I said, no, I didn't.
You couldn't even tell until you did this. You couldn't even tell.
And
you know what I've learned? I've learned to channel that anxiety and that nervousness to excitement. And I feel like if you just channel it to excitement, I just feel so much better when I go live. Like I was telling myself before I went live, I'm like, it's okay. The butterflies, they're okay. It's normal.
You get used to it. You get used to it. I just accept
the fact that I'm going to have butterflies. And then it goes away in like maybe 2 minutes. After 2 minutes, I'm good.
Did you see my reel with Cardi B, my TikTok?
No.
When Ellen DeGeneres asks Cardi B like about were you nervous, and she goes, I was nervous for my second performance, but for my first performance I was like I'm like, I love it. I feel exactly like that. You know what? For the first, I was like I'm like whatever. You know what?
And you have have to keep doing it over and over again.
I'm like, don't judge me with my hair, whether I'm a human being.
Too funny.
Well, let's see, shall we? I have a lot of questions for you. Why do you think? Take a deep breath.
Let's do it.
Why do you think most people give up or fail in this industry?
I think most people give up because I feel like their why isn't big enough of why they're doing it.
Or maybe, is it possible that they want everything in one day?
Absolutely.
They want like an overnight success kind of thing?
Yep. It's either
they try for 2 days and they're like,
Of course, there's so many different reasons why. But I feel like, their reasoning for it isn't like a big enough reason for them to stay in it. They'll either come in the industry and try to make some quick money, which they're going to find out really quick that doesn't happen. You don't just make quick money by screwing up people's brows. You actually have to work really hard to become a great artist so that you can build that trust with your clients. And once they learn that it's not that easy, then, and they don't have a big enough reason why they want to do this and be successful in it, they're going to quit and they won't last.
Right.
Yeah.
True. Somebody's asking that you mentioned your old partner in the beginning and now she's curious. Oh my God. Do you know they say curiosity killed the cat?
Yes. So when I first started out in my business with my sister, we ended up partnering with a friend of ours. And she was a friend. I met her because she used to do my lashes. So we ended up partnering together, and we didn't think about it. We didn't think about like, okay, do we have the same goals? Do we operate the same way? We got to put this contract together. We didn't do any of that. We were just like, she's really cool and she does lashes. Oh my gosh, I think it would work out really well. And she would pitch in like half of the business. Well, boy, did that not work out well.
But are you cordial now?
No, no, because that relationship was like 10 years ago. Because we ended, we split up like shortly after we went into business together. Well, yeah, and she was not like a family member, or she wasn't like a super close friend. She was just a lash artist that was doing my lashes at the time. And we had different, you know, she would do things like she'd pick up the phone while she's doing clients. Like that's not something I would be okay with.
It's in my opinion, it's unprofessional.
Yeah. So when you start a business and you want to start a business with somebody else, you really have to take some time and and really think about it and write down everything. And that contract has to be black and white. Like you cannot leave anything for, you know, you just have to be very clear on your goals and what you're going to do, because most partnerships do not end well. Let's face it.
Mine ended well, thank God.
My partnership with my sister is great and amazing. And we've been working together for, 12 years now, and it's amazing.
And that's hard, because family is hard. Because I was partnered with Glenn, you know that, right? And I'm no longer partner.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, because we're very good, it's just we had very different vision. You know, I'm very crazy. I always want to do stuff. And he's a very, very grounded, like a very normal guy kind of thing. And I was stressing the guy out. I was stressing him out. He was like, and finally my father-in-law comes to me. I beg you, stop with this. You don't want to go. He's going to get sick, And I said, but I have dreams. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to make new courses. I want to do new products. I want to do. And my father-in-law, I almost gave him a heart attack, because he was like he was very involved also, very, very involved. And I love them both. I mean, they're, one of them is my brother-in-law and my father-in-law. My father-in-law was not my partner, but he was just begging me to really stop with this craziness. Yeah. And he was like, promise me that you're not going to go to another venture. What do? I take my business to Turkey, to my country.
You're so hilarious. I love that you're sharing this.
I think it's better if we part ways. And he is doing the Beauty Pro Prime now. And, and
that's great. It's like you figured it out. You figured it out. You know what he's good at, what you're good at, and you figured it out.
He loves it. Beauty Pro Prime is so for him, and it was not for me. Beauty Pro Prime was stressing me out. And I was like, that's not for me, man. That's not for me. I got to go create new products, new stuff.
You're like, I need to go fly on my own.
Right. Exactly. And I'm like, I got to fly. Open my wings.
Well, I love seeing you more online. I absolutely love that, Claire.
You want to know something? It was so hard for me, Leann, because he is so good at marketing, and like he would push me. But I learned something. I learned that I was so scared. I said, how am I going to run this company all by myself? And my husband's like, you're crazy. You're crazy. I'm like, I have my goals. I have my dreams, And then I said, I could do it. Yeah. Well, I'm doing it.
And you could. That's
right.
You could. It's amazing.
Messages that they're like, oh, we love seeing you, because before it was always like I was with Glenn, it was with Glenn. Glenn was like my security blanket almost. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when Glenn was gone, and I'm like, Glenn also, he said to me, if you want to do anything, any videos, I'm like, Glenn, I'm not going to bother you. Like, I bothered you all this time, like, I think you need to relax now. So, but I feel like when you have challenges, when you have fears, I think when you overcome those fears, to me, I feel like I conquered the world, you know?
That's beautiful.
Now I
That's
feel
amazing.
like, I'm like, man, I can do this. I could go on
You're
the,
like, yeah,
yeah, let's do this. You know? And I like hired really great people, and you know,
I love it.
and I'm really enjoying it. I cut down the teaching because I felt like, you know what, I just love creating, man. I just love creating stuff. So I think the way that you were saying is, when you love something, even though if you're scared, I feel like you could do it. You could do whatever. Human brain is super, super powerful. Like, look at what you created. You know, like, if you really want to do it, and if you really want it, I think you could do it. We're just, you know, you can't be lazy though. There's a lot of people that are very lazy.
You got to show up and you got to do the work. You got to take action. I think that's one of the things that, you know, I kept telling myself this year when I was working on setting my goals. I'm like, I need to take action, and I need to take massive action. I think a lot of us just set goals and we want to do so many different things, but yet we don't take action and we don't get it done. I think that's one of the things
for a lot of people.
Yeah,
you know,
for
it's
sure,
like,
including myself.
There was a funny saying, you know, this one guy, you know, it's a Turkish joke, says every day he prays to God, God, please let me win the lottery. God, please let me win the lottery. God, please. One day God says, buy a lottery ticket.
Exactly.
You know what? It's just
how else are you gonna win?
Itself. You gotta do something to get, you know. When I heard that, I was like, that's my favorite thing. And I never remember jokes. And that one, like, literally stuck with me my whole life. It's an old joke, you know.
That's hilarious.
Okay. My next question. What is the biggest myth in permanent makeup industry that you would like to debunk?
I would say the biggest myth is like when people say this is the best product, and if you use this, it's gonna, you know, your work is gonna look amazing. I feel like
sealer. I have a sealer, and you know what I tell people? Ain't magic. Because you're gonna put a sealer, you're not gonna have a good freaking eyebrow. And if somebody tells you that, they're fucking lying.
Right. And I feel like, you know, there's so many great products out there. At the same time, I could see when you're a new artist, you get completely lost because there's so many choices, right?
So many choices, and I think, I'm sorry, but it's so much bullshit. Like, you know, people ask me because I have a product, it's called Sealer. I'm like, guys, it's a great product. It smells very good. It helps. Nothing is you're gonna put is gonna make your eyebrows stay on. It's your technique. It's aftercare. It's your client's medical stuff. It's not like this magic pigment. It's not this magic machine, right? I tell
it's not one thing that's gonna make your work look amazing. So there's a lot more to it. And it's funny, I saw Christina's message. She said, I'm gonna start teaching because it's so easy.
Hi,
and
Christina.
Totally true, Christina. Totally true. I feel like a lot of times, it's like, you know, you can't just be in the industry for like a few months or maybe even a year and know exactly how to teach what you're doing. I feel like you need to really take some time to learn the healed results and how to obtain those long-term healed results in order to really teach your students how to get there.
You know, so I think it's a very good point you're making here. And I have a story, and she may be watching me and she's gonna know who I'm talking about, but that's okay. You know, I told her, it's not like I'm talking behind her back. Right. I have this student, she just now graduated advanced course. She's very good. She's good. But at the time, she wasn't. Like, she was good, but like, you know, she was still asking me stuff and I'm correcting her. She says, Claire, you know, I want to ask you how to become a trainer for you. And I said, well, that's like a long road, you know. I mean, of course you can, you know, but you have to have a lot, you know, because I have a lot of people who are asking me to teach, she tells me. This is how I ask all of the people who are watching here right now. I said to her, do you want to learn from you? I said, do you want to learn from you? She goes, well, you have a good point. I said, because you're always asking me and I'm telling you what to do, right? You are not perfect. But if you are questioning, do I want to learn from somebody like me? Then you don't want to teach. You shouldn't be teaching anybody. You know what I'm saying?
I totally agree.
And you know what I tell my students? You're going to laugh at this. When they send me their homework, I tell them, because I see some jacked up stuff sometimes and I'm like, oh my God, what? This is crazy shit, man. Like, I say, do you want this eyebrow on you, this shape eyebrow? It's just a paper. On the paper, like they draw the eyebrow and it looks like a sperm. So I'm like, do you want this eyebrow on your face? Because if you want to have this eyebrow on your face, then I'm going to pass you. I'm going to pass you. You did great. Good job. But if you tell me, no, I don't want this eyebrow on my own face.
That is too funny.
Put it on somebody else's face.
Yeah, they're like,
right?
Not really.
I mean, it's just simple. Just my philosophy
That is hilarious.
Never do something that you don't want it done to yourself.
Yeah.
That's why I asked her like this. Do you want to learn from you? And she couldn't answer me. She was like,
she's like, I don't know.
I said, you know what? That there is your answer. And you know, she says to me, I'm going to refer her to you. I said, thank you. I will take good care of her. You know, no problem.
Yeah, and I think it's great that people want to be instructors, but give yourself some time. Just give yourself some time. Make sure that you understand like the products that you're using and you've used it long enough to know how it's going to heal, how it's going to look after a few years. And then I feel like, okay, maybe at that time you can start thinking about teaching. You can't just be, you know, you can't just go to a class, take what you learn, repackage it into something of your, you know, something similar to what you learn and then go and teach it. I think that's doing a disservice to your students. It's just, to me, it's not ethical.
To me, it's stealing. That's number one. But also, in my opinion, this is just my opinion, you could be in the industry 15 years, but you do permanent makeup twice a month. How much experience do you have really? But
not much
for
either.
example, I have some students or now gonna be trainer 1 year and a half, doing 1 year and a half, but literally like 8 clients every single day. Who has more experience? Because sometimes I get asked, oh, but she or he just took the course like less than 2 years ago. I know exactly. Do you know how many clients she's been doing or he's been doing?
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like right now, I also say, like, I don't do that many customers anymore. I don't have time, you know? So I always say, and my trainers say to me, don't say that. I say, no, they're the best. I said, I don't do, like, I'm a good teacher, but I'm not the best artist. You know, because the best artistry comes also with a lot of experience and every day it's like a language, right?
Yeah.
So that is also true. Oh my God, it's too sad
really,
that we have 3 minutes.
I know someone was like, am I crazy or is 1 hour live almost over?
I know.
Already? That was so quick.
I know.
That was
you know
too
what?
quick.
This is what I was telling Sheila too. Like if I lived in California, like I would see her all the time.
That would be amazing. We would be hanging out.
I know.
After the
coronavirus. Then she tells me that, oh my God, like everybody is like.
I've been wanting to hang out with her.
Yeah, not now.
So sad.
I know, but it's gonna pass. It's gonna pass. So, what is the last thing, your message to them? Well, maybe we have a few more minutes, but
What is it, Claire? I'm sorry.
Like, lastly, like your message, is there anything that you want to add, or, you know, I still have a lot of questions, but I don't
Last message, I would say, you know, love what you do, find joy in what you do. I think, you know, too many of us get stressed out, especially during this time. I know we're all just like struggling to get through this terrible time. I would say, you know, take some time for yourself and reflect and find the joy in life, and make plans for your life, make goals for yourself.
Perfect time to do that.
Yeah, and make sure that you're putting in things that are not just work related, but things to kind of feed your soul, and things to really really focus on, like mental health and physical health. I think that's so important during this time, and we forget to do that sometimes.
It's the most important, because if you don't have mental health or physical health, no matter how much money you have, no matter how many clients you have, what is it for? You know,
Yep.
I always tell my husband, you know what, I know both ends.
Yeah.
But when I didn't have any money, Leann, and you feel the same way, you didn't have money always, I was always happy. I found happiness in life, you know. And I told my husband, you know what, I don't need to drive a fancy car.
Yep.
Is it nice to drive a fancy car? Of course it is. Is it nice to live in a beautiful home? Of course it is. But it's not everything in life. The life is more deep than that. That's why
you can't take all that with you.
Right. And you know what? If you don't have happiness, health, you know, you have nothing.
You have nothing.
And this is why I always stay positive. I want everybody in this call to promise me, find something positive to hang on to.
Yep.
Your health is the biggest, you know. Look at the people that are, you know, not here today. Young people that died through COVID, for example, even. Why don't you be thankful that you are not one of those victims, right?
Absolutely.
I think
Absolutely.
we should always be thankful and appreciate whatever we have, instead of saying, you know what, I'm driving a BMW, but look at her, she's driving a Bentley.
Yeah.
Right?
We have to remember to just be grateful. Just be grateful for what we have, for our health. And just to end, if I know were a lot of questions on here that Claire and I didn't get to, a lot of questions. So if you guys want to DM me, I would love to connect with you and answer any questions that you have. So please reach out to me. I love helping other artists. If you have questions, I'm happy to help you. And I wish you guys all the best. You know, just stay safe and just be happy.
Be happy. Don't worry. Be happy now.
Thank you so much, Claire. I really appreciate.
So lovely having you. You are.
I so appreciate you.
So I do too. Love you, girl. And you're just a fresh air. You know.
Oh, thank you.
In my hot, sunny Florida, you're fresh air for me.
I'm gonna come visit you. I love Florida and its warm waters.
Come, my home. Mi casa es su casa.
Yay! Good night, everyone.
Good night. Bye.